Generally, healthcare companies will be around the service aspect rather than e-commerce, but there might be some with an e-commerce element where they're selling supplements or healthcare products. This video is going to be more tailored towards those that are based around service. So I've got a few websites that basically Googled healthcare services Sheffield, and then I'm just going to have a look through each of them and point out any bad or good elements, in my opinion, from an SEO perspective and UX perspective. And then if anyone's got a healthcare company out there, feel free to get in touch if you've got any questions or if there's any specific element of this video that doesn't quite make sense or does make sense and you want to compliment, that'd be lovely too. So this is I think these were in position 2 for healthcare company Sheffield. I'll just go to the homepage to start off with. So generally, I mean, this is looking like it's focused around elderly people, helping elderly people, different types of care around that. Possibly got a care home, not exactly sure. I don't. Uh, maybe they haven't. But the main thing with any service-based business, and especially in healthcare, is service coverage. So a healthcare website is always going to struggle to perform well on Google if it's a one page website covering all the services. We want to segment the website into different service pages. So even if you don't think you've got many different services, I guarantee you have. There'll be at least 5 there, even if you feel like you've only got 1 or 2, because you can always break your services down into different aspects of the service, if that makes sense. So you've got your services, and then you'll have your audience. So you're providing your services to your audience. So we need to segment your services into different sections, and we need to segment your audience into different sections. Even if the audience sounds similar, and it can cover, it's a bit like a Venn diagram, it can cover similar sorts of people, but there are distinctions there. So you can see on this website, so we've got a call to action, get started with us. I mean, as a call to action, in my opinion, that's a little bit too generic. I don't know what that means. Does that mean send an inquiry? Does that mean it's going to take me to a portal where it's going to go, we've got this service and this service and this service? Is it going to be downloading a booklet? I'm really not sure. So I'd make that more specific if you are going to have a call to action. So it is actually just getting straight in contact. I mean, I'd change that. Even just to get in touch would be more specific to that. Um, or send an inquiry or something along those lines. Generally, I'd have 2 call to actions. One that's uh, to sort of the middle of the sales funnel, and then one that's to the end. So one something like this in 2 bad to the end that's a contact one. But then I'd have another one where we're giving them a resource, so a free resource around maybe a digital booklet they can download that tells you more about the healthcare company, or point them to a all services page, which runs through every service you've got and every different type of customer as well. Okay, so we'll just have a scroll down. So we've got about us. Let's go to you. In home is where the heart is. Yeah, that's not too. It's read more. I'm not a massive fan of that CTA either, to be honest. If we want to, we just want call to actions like buttons like this to be more descriptive. I'm not saying just cram a keyword in there, but rather than read more, even just by learn more about the company. Do you know what I mean? Like it's got to be more to. There shouldn't be any negotiation room in someone's mind to not interpret that for what it is. Overview and CQC inspections report. See this sort of stuff is incredibly important. it gives enormous amounts of credibility to the website, especially in healthcare, because EAT comes in so much, and it's such like a what's the right word? We're not selling flip flops. Do you know what I mean? It's actually we're dealing with people's loved ones. That they're the general customer. So showing accreditations like this from independent regulators is going to be massive. And being honest and transparent and open, sending the view the latest report, download a report, that's amazing. I'd even have that as the top call to action. Because if I was looking for a healthcare company, a local one especially, and they were happy to share their report straight away from an independent regulator, that's a massive tick to me. We've got services. I mean, there's little like tweaks that I'd maybe change. Check our healthcare services, not just services. A little bit too broad. Again, call to actions, just more. Just simply learn more about disability care, that sort of thing. We've got a short description, and it looks like these get cut off. If I click that, does it take me to the page? Yeah. So these get cut off. You can see the ellipsis there. We want short, sharp descriptions of the service underneath the images here. These are quite broad, just like filler pieces of content. So we offer care for people with these disabilities. Just list a few of the main ones, and then if you'd like to learn more about the service, yeah, overnight care, hourly care. It's all good that the link to from the homepage though, because we've got to remember the homepage is the start of the hierarchy when Google's recognizing it. So if you link to a page from the homepage, that's a massive signal to Googling users that this is an important page. This is not just a filler blog post from 2005. Values are always good. Needs a little bit of work with the images. These look like stock images to me as well. Never want to. I mean, always try and get your own images. I'd invest in a photographer to come into the business, and obviously some of it's confidential, so you can't take that. But images of the caring player. That one doesn't look like a stock image because we've got the branded uniform, but all the others look like stock images to me. They might not be, but just my impression. I'd say we don't need all this to be as prominent. The value sort of section. I can make this um, because these are broad, integrated trust. A lot, every nearly every healthcare company has different values. We don't need to sort of shout out about them as much as you do it. Just because they're quite broad. That's all I'd say. This is useful. I mean, I get this nearer the top. This is more pertinent than the values. This is unique to Fusco Brown. 232 clients helped. I mean, if you've done more than that, I'd put a plus sign as well. So you think automatically it's a bit of psychological trick. Oh, they've done even more than that. More than 232 clients helped. And it says our values, but this is testimonials and reviews. So change that. But this is all really good. Again, these could, I get these far higher. Send us a message, a bit generic. We've got a world map, even though they're based in Sheffield. I'm guessing they might provide services to the UK, but we don't need a world map. Right, so that's the homepage done. A few comments on that. About us pages, way too much on the images. Images are good, but this is a bit crazy. The resolution is way off, way too image heavy. Our response to COVID, that's interesting. That's something a bit distinct as well. It's all a bit broad. I want to know what's unique about Fusco Brown as a healthcare service. Like that's why testimonials are good, accreditations are good. Um, how long have you been open? Uh, any specific service, any specialities? All right, but then if we look at again, what I mentioned before, service coverage is key. So what they've done here with the different service pages, that's what you should be looking to do. As long as it's unique to every other one, like disability care and learning disability care, they've got similar intent, but what I'd do is Google the two different types of services. So Google disability care. This is a good indicator if the intent's different, if the search intent's different. Google both and look at the top 10 search results and see how different they are. So disability care, disabilitysheffield.org.uk, and then we've got an NHS one there. Got the NHS one. Okay, somewhat different. Sheffield Directory, Sheffield Mental Health, Sheffield City Council. So it looks like they're fairly similar, but there's slightly different intent there. I'm disappearing. I'm just going to get rid. All right. So if you're not sure if you should make an extra service page because it's too similar, Google it and check if the results are similar. Right. One thing they've not done, I like a typical service page. We need call to action. Again, images don't need to be this prominent. We just really need to know what is the service, how can you provide it, can you talk about any specific examples of providing it? I'd be tempted to use bullet points rather than here we go. This is more like it. This is really good stuff. So exactly what is involved in that service: preparation of meals, DBS checked. This is so much more important than this giant image and th- this copy. To be honest, I'd have this at the top. They just want the sharp facts to begin with, and then we can expand underneath. And then, like I mentioned before, I'd create, we'd segment your audience. We need audience pages as well. So, who we provide care for could be a drop down. Like the services, who we provide care for there. And then within that, we've got, all right, dementia patients, Parkinson's patients, all the different members of your audience, elderly patients, um, patients who need physical help. I've just reeled a few off the top of my head there because there are different types of patients, and one way of doing this, and this doesn't always work, but if you so you've got your service, living care, for example. If you go into Google and put live in care for, there you go, elderly couples or discharged, dementia patients, seniors, elderly. So straight away, we've got elderly that'll be relevant to that one, and dementia patients, and seniors might be another one. But they could have a who do we provide care for, dementia patients, elderly. That's two pages that they definitely should target in Sheffield as well. And if you're just based in a local area, living care in Sheffield, Howley care in Sheffield, disability care in Sheffield. But if you're based through the UK, then it's a little bit different. Team pages, incredibly important. To be some work on the images. But yeah, the image size is huge. I add this to the homepage as well. Most people land on the homepage, have a quick scan, and leave or stay. So anything unique on there. Right, let's have a quick look at another one. Silver healthcare. Interesting. So this looks like different types of care homes. This is a little bit more relevant. So there's contact us CTA. Doesn't look like a stock image. This one looks like a legitimate image from the company. So they've got the different types of care homes, daycare, emergency and respite care. We could have links to them from there. Just looking at the main nav. So it doesn't really make sense where they put care homes, daycare, respite care because I'm guessing, in fact, that might be right actually. But I'd still, even though they've got different types of care homes there, daycare and respite care are more types of service. So I put care homes as a drop down, take these out and put care services, daycare, respite care, organise the site structure in a bit more of a relevant way. About us, yeah, it's all good stuff, quite broad, like the last one. Again, small tweak, our care services, just keep it descriptive to the industry. Care homes learn more. Book respite. Okay, so you can just book straight away through the website by the sounds of things. But no. Well, the CTA is not working. That'd be one thing I'd fix straight away. Good stuff. Our partners. See, this is so important to me. If I were looking for this sort of business, affiliations, and we just don't. I mean, in a lot of businesses, especially healthcare businesses, you want to build trust. So if you've got partnerships or accreditations, these need to be more prominent and link out to the websites as well, like they have. I mean, and it's 100% worth reaching out to these and asking if you can send them an article about your partnership and they can publish it on their website. And then it's a relevant backlink and it's helping users find you through them. So we've got contact us. Let's just go to a care home page and look at services one. Upper Forth area of Sheffield. I'd want to know. I mean, I know Sheffield quite well. My geography is not my strong point, but I'd expand on. I want to know postcode, which sort of landmarks or locations it's actually near. I kind of know where Upper Thorpe is, but I don't know exactly. A bit more description around there. Any more images of the interior activities file? Here we go, gallery. This would be image heavy for me. I'd like to see images of this. We've got a map at the bottom as well. There we go. This helps. Did not know there were a place called Philadelphia in Sheffield. Interesting. There we go. Well, they've put the report at the bottom requires improvement. So they need to show this legally. I'm not sure when you obviously inquire. I don't know if that's the case or not, but it makes sense that they've got it on the website still. Well, we'll check on a service page. But again, they're the two things to create pages around. Different services. If you are just based around the local area, tailor the pages to the local area. So daycare in Sheffield, respite care in Sheffield. Then audience segments, so landing pages. You want to create landing pages and content around your different audience segments. So patients with dementia, if it's more children, then like autistic children, that sort of thing. Right, so the daycare, we've got a bit of sort of broad copy there. I mean, again, I'd want to know exactly what it involves. I know that's quite broad, but I'd want to like bullet points. Okay, so what does daycare involve? What times can you offer daycare? That's massive. I know they've got flexible schedule, but what exact times can you offer daycare? How many meals do they get? Um, how many times do they play games, and what sort of care do they get? Just more specific details. Be as specific as you possibly can to your own service. So look at the about us. I've noticed there's a massive sort of drive with healthcare businesses and hiring. Like a lot of them have careers pages, and a lot of them seem to be there's a bit of a lack of people wanting care jobs at the minute. So we really need to drive this. If you're wanting to drive this further, I'd advertise the jobs on other websites like Indeed and third party sites, care home job sites, which I'm sure some of these do. But I just really tailor the page so Sheffield care home jobs, care home careers in Sheffield rather than just careers. Permanent contract. This is all good stuff though. This is specific stuff to it. But yeah, they're the two key elements: service coverage and audience coverage.